Missiles hit far inside Israel, and Iran claims Benjamin Netanyahu himself was the intended target. Tehran says the Prime Minister's office was heavily damaged in a sudden assault, while Israel reports that senior Iranian intelligence commanders were killed in retaliatory strikes. Opposing narratives, no verification. So one question dominates the moment. Is Netanyahu alive? Tensions between Iran and Israel have surged dramatically this morning, with both sides announcing major strikes in a fast-moving and unpredictable situation. According to Asa News, citing the public relations wing of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran aimed at the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The current condition of Netanyahu remains uncertain, and Iranian officials have indicated that more information about the operation will be released later. The Israeli government has not responded to the allegation. The office of the criminal prime minister of the Israeli regime and the headquarters of the Israeli Air Force commander were struck and severely damaged by the Iranian armed forces in calculated and surprise attacks using Khyber missiles in the 10th wave. At the same time, Israel's military declared that two high-ranking Iranian intelligence figures were killed in what it described as the opening phase of attacks on Iran. In a statement released on Monday, the Israeli army named the individuals as Said Yahidi and Jalal Pour Hussein. The statement claimed Hamidi served as Deputy Minister of Intelligence for Israel Affairs and alleged that he directed terrorist operations targeting Jews, Western interests, and regime opponents in Iran and abroad. It further asserted that Hussein led the espionage department at Iran's Ministry of Intelligence. The Israeli military added that other senior militants were also eliminated in the strikes. These developments signal a sharp escalation in hostilities, with both sides reporting the targeting of prominent figures. As of now, there has been no independent verification of the claims, and Israel has yet to issue an official statement regarding Iran's reported strike on the Prime Minister's office. With additional details expected from Tehran and silence continuing from Jerusalem, the situation remains unstable and extremely volatile as the confrontation between the two regional rivals intensifies. A delicate northern ceasefire has collapsed as Hezbollah entered the fray to back Iran in its ongoing attacks. In the early hours of March the 2nd, Hezbollah reportedly opened another front, firing rockets and drones from Lebanon and triggering immediate Israeli airstrikes on Beirut in what is described as the most severe escalation since 2024. According to a Times of Israel report, sirens sounded in the northern city of Khyber and nearby areas shortly after 1 a.m. as rockets and drones were launched from Lebanon. One rocket was intercepted by air defenses, while at least two others were permitted to land in open areas. Alerts warning of a drone incursion were also activated in the Upper Galilee soon after, with air defenses shooting down at least two suspected drones. At least 3 additional rockets launched from Lebanon hit open areas in northern Israel around 3 a.m. without activating sirens. Hezbollah, in a statement claiming responsibility for firing a volley of precision missiles and deploying a swarm of drones, said it carried out the strike in retaliation for the blood of the supreme leader of the Muslims, Ali Khamenei. The criminal American and Zionist aggression that targeted our guardian, our leader, the leader of the nation, Imam Khamenei, may his soul be sanctified, along with a group of leaders, officials, and innocent sons of the Iranian people, represents the peak of criminality. We will carry out our duty in confronting aggression, confident in Allah's victory, guidance, and support, no matter how great the sacrifices. The group also characterized the strike as strategic messaging over disputed territory. The assault came hours after Hezbollah chief Naim Qassem pledged that his organization would confront Israel and the United States over their strikes on Iran, despite the Lebanese government's appeal for it to stay out of the conflict. Hezbollah indicated the attack should serve as a warning to Israel to withdraw from occupied Lebanese land, including the 5 border positions Israel has maintained in Lebanon, citing security concerns, despite being obligated to pull back under the 2024 ceasefire agreement. Israel responded with dozens of strikes in Beirut and southern Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah headquarters and infrastructure, as well as a vehicle carrying 2 members of the group's elite Radwan force in the Farjal area. In response to projectile fire toward northern Israel, the IDF is striking Hezbollah targets across Lebanon. Hezbollah is acting on behalf of the Iranian regime, launching attacks against Israeli civilians and bringing devastation to Lebanon. IDF forces had prepared for such a possibility as part of Operation Roaring Lion and are ready for a multi-front confrontation. Al Arabiya reported Monday that Mohammed Ra, head of Hezbollah's loyalty to the resistance bloc, was killed in an Israeli strike in Beirut. At least 31 people were killed, Lebanon's health ministry said. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir emphasized Israel's readiness for simultaneous battle zones. We prepared for a multi-front scenario and for an offensive campaign against Hezbollah. Any adversary that threatens our security will pay a severe price. We will not permit harm to the citizens of the State of Israel or to the northern border. The IDF also issued evacuation directives for residents in southern Lebanese villages. For your safety, you must leave your homes immediately and move at least 1,000 meters away from the villages toward open areas. Meanwhile, Lebanon's Prime Minister Nawaf Salam denounced the rocket fire without directly naming Hezbollah. Regardless of who is responsible, the rocket fire from southern Lebanon is a reckless and suspicious act that endangers Lebanon's security and safety and gives Israel justification to continue its attacks against it. We will not allow the country to be drawn into new confrontations and will take all necessary measures to hold those accountable and safeguard the Lebanese people. With Hezbollah re-entering the conflict and Israel striking Beirut, the regional war map is widening and diplomatic room for de-escalation is rapidly narrowing.